Silkscreen stencils. It begins with the object. Look for an object that has interesting shape, an exterior contour. This chair caught my attention and I wanted to use it and transfer it to the vellum that we're using to cut the shape out of, but I wanted to take you through the steps on how I did that. In this case, I'm just using my windows. This is a sliding glass door. You could use a window pane. A lot of different ways to do this. And it begins with taking the actual, this is, by the way, what came in our kit, and I put it up onto a piece of glass and I drew a Sharpie around the whole thing right on the glass. And you can see my Sharpie mark all the way around. And so I know that I have to be inside that contour and that my stencil needs to be inside that 9-inch, because there's my squeegee. And I'm aware of that, and that's my guide. And then I have to pick a place where I can sit and draw that in such a way that it fits inside that frame. And I just sat inside my house and drew it. I had to move the chair to fit it, and I had to put a dot on the chair. Why? I'll show you here in a second, but if you look at the chair, there is a dot right in the middle there. See if I can point to it. It's right there. And I have a dot on my sliding glass door, and you can see the dot right there. That dot has to align with that dot, and it can't move during the drawing. Okay, so basically it looks like this. You get comfortable, and what you're going to need to do is take those two dots and line them up. There's that dot, and you can see them. Line them up and do the best you can to draw. This is tough because you tend to want to move around, as you're drawing. And you keep an eye on those two dots, keep them together, and that will allow you to produce a more accurate stencil or contour of that drawing, which will then lead to a more accurate stencil. Okay, what's next? The next step is to take one sheet of the vellum. I have a piece right here, and I put some tape on there, and I'm going to tape it right to the glass, and you can see I can see right through it. And what I'm going to do now is just trace that contour with graphite, and with the graphite, that'll be my guide for when I cut it out, that shape out, with the X-Acto knife. Now, the kit comes with an X-Acto blade. It does not come with a quilting mat for cutting, but the paper I mailed you will have a chipboard backing, and the chipboard backing makes for a great cutting surface. Examples right here. So does this. And that makes for a really nice cutting surface. It's easy on the blade and produces a better cut when you're cutting out that stencil. So next step, like I said, pencil, trace that. I'll pull this down onto with my pencil marks on here, I'll put it down on my, the chipboard, and I can cut out that shape. I just finished tracing the drawing, and I will take the stencil material off the glass, put it onto a piece of chipboard, and begin to cut it out. If you're using Sharpie on the glass, you can remove it with isopropyl alcohol, denatured alcohol. You can also use dry erase or any marker that will clean up with water. Another good idea is to use the Mylar that was shipped to you. Tape that up on the glass and draw directly on that, and then use that for the stencil.